As Silver flies above the buildings of Soliana, he can't help but be distracted by the sights surrounding him. Everything is so bright, but for once that brightness comes from the sun and not the endless fire engulfing everything where he came from. Silver is so distracted, in fact, that he ignores the flash of green that pops into existence right in front of him and crashes directly into a black figure sporting red stripes, causing them both to fall down to the street below. Shadow hits the ground hard, and his Chaos Emerald bounces away from him. Silver manages to catch himself before he lands, and he winces as he sees the other hedgehog collapse on the ground a ways away from him. He slowly approaches. Are you alright? I'm sorry, I was distracted by so many things. He starts looking at the surrounding buildings again and almost loses himself in the allure of the world around him again. He shakes it off and goes to help Shadow up. Shadow clutches his head with one arm and pushes Silver away with the other. Oh, that's alright. I should have asked if you needed help first. Here, I think you dropped this when you fell. He motions to the gemstone laying in the streets and levitates it to his hand. As Silver holds the green jewel, he notices that it feels strange, almost like it was radiating some kind of energy. As he stares down at it, he realizes what it is. Shadow straightens himself out and brushes the dirt off his arms, glaring at Silver. Silver looks up at the figure and his expression changes. Mephiles? I didn't think I'd run into you so soon. And you've already found a Chaos Emerald? That's what this is, right? Shadow looks side to side, assuming that Silver's talking to someone else, but then he looks back at Silver. I think you might have hit your head a little harder than you thought. The name's Shadow, and I'd like my emerald back. But you look like Mephiles. And you look like a fool. But that doesn't mean you are one. Thanks, I think? Emerald, now. I'm very busy and I don't have time for this. Silver looks down at the rock and takes a step back, remembering Mephiles' words. I'm sorry, I don't have time to waste either. We need the Chaos Emeralds, and if you're trying to keep them from me, then you're my enemy! Silver assumes a battle stance, and Shadow growls from afar. Already being pressed for time and agitated, having run into the stranger who's insisting on keeping his emerald, he prepares for battle. And now it's time for a Shadow-Silver boss fight. Depending on what story you're playing, you'll be playing as that character during the fight. If you're playing as Silver, Shadow fights using minor chaos powers such as spears and short-range teleportation, followed by homing attacks. He can't use Chaos Blast or anything extreme since he lacks his emerald. As he attacks with his spears, Silver will need to grab them out of the air with his powers and wait for an opening to throw them back at him. If he throws them too early, Shadow will simply counter the attack with more spears and deflect them. When playing as Shadow, Silver will attempt to grab your Chaos Spears out of the air, so the only way to damage him is by giving him too many to handle, so he's forced to stand in place to attack you. Then, all you need to do is find a way to get behind him during his onslaught and homing attack him. If you get caught by one of the spears, he'll drop the rest and you'll have to start the cycle over. You also can't attack him directly if he's not holding any spears, as he'll grab Shadow himself and send him flying backwards a bit. But not to the moon or anything, because that'd be a silly thing to allow past bug testing. After the fight, regardless of who you play as, Shadow reclaims his emerald, delivers a roundhouse kick to the back of Silver's head thanks to some chaos control, because cutting that from the game would be illegal, and he begins to walk away. Silver is able to lift himself up from that blow and gets a lucky hit on Shadow with his back turned, knocking him into a nearby wall. He lands with a thud and passes out from the blow. Silver is about to run and check to make sure he didn't kill him, but he sees the gem resting in his open palm. Silver nabs the stone and flees the scene without looking back. He doesn't want to hurt anyone, but he's not going to let everyone in this timeline die because of that.